I can't afford the perfume I wore when my boyfriend and I first met, and now he's threatening to break up with me if I change the scent I had when we fell in love. Hi guys, my boyfriend, 24M, and me, 22F, have been together for almost 2 years now. Aside from some small bumps in the road, we have been in a very good place throughout the whole relationship. However, last night things escalated, over in my opinion, something super dumb. But he thinks differently of that, and now stopped talking to me. It started when we were on the bed, he was gaming and I was on my laptop looking to order a new perfume. Since I stopped my job, to focus on studying, I don't have as much income, so I decided to not get the expensive perfume I usually go for, Miss Dior. I thought it'd be better to find a body spray with a resembling scent. As he was looking over my shoulder he asked me what I was doing, so I explained exactly that to him. He then reacted saying I wore Miss Dior in our first period of dating and it is my smell, and how it was one of the things that attracted him to me the most. I must admit this made me a bit annoyed, because I'd rather get that perfume too, but it's just not responsible to do so right now. He started rambling on how I care more about saving money than I care about him. I said that's not true, but then he kept saying his hypersensitivity issues can't deal with adjusting to a new scent. I said I'd find a scent similar to my old one, but he wasn't content with that. At this point he said he'd have to break up with me if I would go for another scent. I found this hilarious and thought he surely must be joking, so I laughed, which made him go silent. I let him be, because I was really annoyed, and we went to sleep. Now he left early morning and doesn't respond to my texts or calls. I have no idea what to do and I'm starting to doubt how I handled the situation. Did I fail him by not taking his hypersensitivity into account? Top comments. Commenter, I'm concerned that you are even asking this question. This boyfriend of yours tried to assert that you must stick with a Dior perfume and never once offered to buy it? What is wrong with him? In any case, his reaction to your perfume choice is very strange. Why are you asking us if you did something wrong? Commenter number 2, lol, threatening to end the relationship because you don't stick to the brand of perfume he likes. Say that aloud. He is holding the relationship hostage because you didn't smell a certain way. Update, 5 days later. Wow, first of all, thanks everyone who gave me advice, and some tough love. I did not expect so many of you to help me and definitely teared up at some of your replies. After I posted this I was a bit of a mess, but after hours of ignoring me he texted me late in the evening and asked me to meet up, because he does not want us to be in a bad place. I really wanted to talk to him, at least to clear things up, so I went to his place. When I got there he acted a bit disappointed still, but he did say he didn't want us to fight. I felt the same, but also took your advice to heart, the idea of letting him buy a bottle. However, for some context, I do think he might be on the spectrum, no diagnosis but his dad is too, and it'd make sense, so I did want to show him I care and take his hypersensitivity seriously. Therefore I decided to suggest we pay half and half for a new Miss Dior and then until that one would be finished, I'll make sure to do research to find a really good dupe. He was not as convinced, told me it wasn't my birthday anytime soon. I explained that I understood but we'd have to both compromise. Well, to quote his literal words, if you're such a feminist, you should be so financially too. This got me fuming. I had no words, so this time I left. As per your advice, in the replies, I did some thinking about the rest of our relationship. I realized other things in our relationship that at the time didn't sit quite right with me, were situations of him being controlling and self-concerned, situations I always considered as little things he'd mean differently or would learn from. I was wrong. You were right. I asked him to meet up today and I dumped his ass. I feel terrible right now, but I know I'm better off. So, does anyone have advice for a cheap, nice body spray? Some of OP's comments. Commenter, that was a difficult decision, but the right one. I don't know where you live but in the UK and Ireland Aldi does a great Miss Dior dupe on occasion. It's called Perfect Pink. OP, we do have an Aldi here so I'm going to check it out. Thank you. Commenter number 2, good for you, he sounded unreasonable. I would have said that he should pay the difference between the perfume you would have bought and the perfume he wanted you to buy, but his comments are so out of line it's not even worth thinking about anymore. OP, I didn't even think about this, it would have been a good reaction but since he thinks I have to pay everything because I'm a feminist, I don't think he would have been okay with that either. Commenter number 3, I'm so tired of people weaponizing feminism. Good riddance. OP, this. I always found it very hard to be mad at him for long, but when he said this I felt like he showed his true colors and I was so done. Commenter number 4, what did he say when you broke up with him? OP, he mumbled something along the lines of good, I deserve better, but after that he did text me to say sorry and if we can talk again, so he's not very consistent. Commenter, good on you for throwing him out. I'm glad you also got recommendations for a dupe perfume, although maybe a change of fragrance may not be a bad idea so you don't associate it with him. OP, thank you a lot. I was thinking the same thing, I feel like it's a good time to reinvent myself, starting off with a new signature scent, hee hee.